this is a sick matchup. I cannot wait for this fight as Mark Overgaard Madsen, aka the Olympian Mark O, takes on Vince from Hell Pichel. And I was a little bit surprised by the odds in this one because Vince Pichel is a decent favorite, minus 150. Despite Marco Madsen, coming in undefeated, being 11-0, coming in with a lot of hype. We saw him in that fight against Clay the Carpenter Guida where he just put on an insane pace for a couple straight rounds before ultimately, I don't want to say he gassed out, but you could tell he started to slow down. His pressure, his output started to wane a little bit, and it'll be interesting to see if there's any similar issues against Vince from Hell Pichel, who at 39 years old is only getting better. I mean, this guy's on just a slick three-fight win streak. He's been kind of walking through dudes too. I mean, he smoked Austin Hubbard, smoked Jim Miller, Roosevelt Roberts, and it's been looking pretty good for Vince from Hell Pichel. So what are your thoughts on this one? Is he going to get this W over Marco Madsen, or does Marco Madsen get that 12th win, stay undefeated, and get one step closer to a title shot?
Yeah, I know this is such an amazing fight. I'm really excited for the Olympian versus From Hell on this because both these guys have been looking pretty darn good. It did look like a little kryptonite from Marcus. If you can survive to the third round, it does seem that with that kind of pace, I mean, let's be honest, anyone's in a gas. So he definitely needs to be careful or maybe step up that cardio. I don't really know how you can really step it up because he already has insane cardio. I mean, he is an Olympian and that pace is just almost like it's almost unhumanly. So it'll be very interesting to see if he plays a little smarter, slower, and tries to stand up more, or if he's just gonna go with that absolute wrestling ground and pound, insane takedown, takedown, crazy pace. But I really like this fight. These guys are both on their, last few years, I would say, but they both have been looking good. So it'll be interesting to see who comes out on top. But I gotta take Mark on this one. I like that he's an underdog. That kind of blew my mind. I mean, Vince definitely is no joke, so it would not surprise me. But just the fact that Madsen is plus money, I really got to take him on this one. I mean, this dude is an absolute savage, and I can only imagine that he has a good team, a smart group. I mean, he's an Olympian, so he's got to have great coaches, and they say, hey, we got to work on the cardio. We got to work on the game plan. Don't, dust out the muscles right away. Be more methodical and, try to get some smarter stuff instead of wasting that energy, perhaps. And I think he's going to absolutely maul Pichel. If he doesn't, it's going to be because he gasses and somehow Vince is just as tough as Guida and he gets the late round KO. And that's what I'm kind of predicting and seeing. If it ends early, it's because Mark absolutely mauls in ground and pounds and he's just a different monster.
Yeah, he seemingly has looked like a different sort of monster out there. I mean, that third round against Clay Guida was like the only time that we've seen him in professional competition really appear mortal. Because before that, he was just kind of steamrolling guys, right? I mean, that fight against Austin Hubbard, that was just one-way traffic, absolute straight end-to-end destruction from the Olympian in that one. And Vince, that's a common opponent actually, because Vince Pichel sort of did the same thing to Thud Hubbard as well, but. Cannot wait for this one. 70% is rolling with the Olympian Mark Madsen. Most of it is based. They think that that decision is most likely. 30% is what From Hell is garnering. And do you think that this fight goes the distance? Because it seems as though Tapology thinks, whoever wins, it's going to go the distance. Do you think the over 2.5 is safe?
I think over the 2.5 is definitely safe, but I do not think it's going to go the distance. I think either Mark is going to get knocked out in the third round later, or I think Vince is going to ground and pound in the first round. So I don't know. It really depends on who you're really rooting for, but I think Mark gets it done early or gets knocked out at the last second of the fight.
Yeah, I feel that, and I know where you're coming from 100%. I personally cannot wait for this lightweight showdown. Ultimately, I'm going to go with Vince from Hell Pichel. I don't know, the dude just keeps winning, and he keeps getting better and better. I mean, I thought that the win streak would end quickly when he fought against Jim Miller, but he smoked Jim Miller, and, we have a lot of respect for Jim Miller. The guy has the most UFC fights in company history, and he's not an easy out. If you're able to sort of make a win over Jim Miller look decisive, then you, to me, are on a pretty high level. And I think with Madsen, I don't know. I think that Clay Guida fight, and maybe this will come back to haunt me later on, but I think that Clay Guida fight was like peak Mark Madsen. I think that that's the that's as good of a fighter as we're going to get out of Marco Madsen. I'm not bullish on this guy being future champ, especially at lightweight. I mean, I can think of like other like Gillespie and Mahashev and Arman. Like there's already wrestlers in this division who would smoke him, and they are pretty well rounded. Whereas Madsen, I don't know, I don't see him being well rounded enough to hang with the elite of the elite in this division. And I kind of think Vinc Pichel is in that top 20, maybe even top 15 category, despite peaking at such a late age. So I'm going to go with Vinc Pichel. I think he gets this one done. I like the call, but by you, to be honest, third round finish. I don't think that is that unreasonable, but I could also see him winning a decision as well. So, any last thoughts on this one? I got to roll with From Hell.
Yeah, no, totally understand. It would not surprise me at all. But I'm just gonna go with, Marks is the fake steamroller for Vola, so I think he's going to steamroll this guy in the first or second round, hopefully. But yeah, throw in the comments you got. You got the Olympian, the Steamer, or the Vince Pichel from Hell.